I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake, and
Musical.
this is the Bible Reloaded Musical Edition, where we sing the whole episode. No, fuck that. No, we're terrible. But yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
That's our names. That's the thing we do.
Yep,
and
we're
today we're gonna focus on the story of Joseph.
Yeah. And a little recap. A bunch of shit happened, and now we're here.
Wow, good recap.
No, Jacob did some stuff. He wrestled with God a little bit. There was a rape.
A slaughter of an entire race of people. Rachel and Isaac died.
Yep.
That's about it.
And then a bunch of genealogy bullshit. But now we're getting to a very rich part of the Bible. We really won't have a lot to skip for quite a while. Like, we'll have little pieces here and there. But a lot starting of it, at Joseph, everything gets actually kind of good.
It becomes very story-oriented as opposed to... Yeah. From before this, it's been a lot of smaller stories and then genealogy. We get a solid block of quite a few stories. Also, I'd like to note, this story is one of my favorite musicals. Andrew Lloyd Webber has done a musical, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, based on this story. I love it. I own it on the VHS.
Nice. You still have a VCR?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How else am I going to watch old Disney movies? How else am I going to watch a Goofy movie?
Preferably not watch a Goofy movie.
Oh, that's ridiculous. What a good movie. The Little Mermaid. How am I going to watch that? Let's just start. Let's just do it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Ready, go.
Genesis chapter 37.
Boom.
Jacob lived in the land where his father had stayed, the land of Canaan. Ha ha ha. Funny.
Fuck you.
Name. This is the account of Jacob's family line. We're calling him Jacob again, but his name is Israel.
Yeah, they go in and out of doing that sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah. Joseph, a young man of 17, was tending to the flock with his brothers, the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives, and he brought their father a bad report about them. Remember, these are all the children of the whores and... Or not the whores, of the servants who are like... They're kind of whores. They were his wife's servants who also had sex with him and had children. Joseph is the only son of the woman that he actually loved.
Right, Rachel.
Yes.
Joseph's mother, she was quite my favorite wife. I never really loved another all my life. Joseph was my joy because he reminded me of her.
So he brought his father a bad report of his other children.
Right.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons because he had been born to him in his old age, and he made an ornate robe for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him.
Fuck you for having a nice robe.
Yeah, but it's the robe is a symbol. The robe is a symbol of Israel's love for Joseph. Interestingly enough, only mentioned 1 or 2 times in the entire story, but it's the title of the musical.
Yeah. It's also one of the more famous things, that coat of his.
Just the imagery, I assume. Chapter 5. Joseph had a dream. When he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them,
I dreamed that in the fields one day the corn gave me a sign. Your 11 sheaves of corn all turned and bowed to mine. My sheaf was quite a sight to see, a golden sheaf and tall. Yours were green and second-rate, and really rather small.
With Joseph's stories, we're going to get a motif of him prophesizing things through dreams.
Yes.
We'll come later. There's a cupbearer and a baker, and a couple other things, like the Pharaoh has some dreams and stuff, too. He's that guy, I guess. He's the dream guy, and actually, he's the reason that... the Jews become enslaved, basically.
Yeah.
So,
whoops.
Oopsies.
But, I'm just going to give it away right now. The entire kind of message of this story ends up being, no matter where you are in life, no matter how shitty your life is, through the power of God, or Elohim at this point, you can do anything. You can become almost Pharaoh in Egypt, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Yep.
His brothers said to him, Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us? And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he had said. Then he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers.
I dreamed I saw 11 stars, the sun, the moon, and sky. Bowing down before my star, it made me wonder why. Could it be that I was born for higher things than you? A post in someone's government, a ministry or two.
So, he's having some dreams. He's saying, I'm having these dreams about basically ruling you. It's pretty loosely, thinly veiled symbolism. Yeah. And they're like, you think you're going to rule us, you piece of shit?
Yeah, you're the youngest.
You're second youngest.
Whatever.
To Benjamin.
Right.
Know that
he
offhand.
does. Yeah, but he you're right. And also Benjamin's like his favorite little brother, I think.
Yes. Verse 12. Now his brothers had gone to graze their father's flocks near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, As you know your brothers are grazing the flocks near Shechem. Come, I am going to send you to them. Very well, he replied. So he said to them, Go and see if all is well with your brothers and with his flocks, and bring word back to me. Then he sent him off from the valley of Hebron. When Joseph arrived to Shechem, a man found him wandering around in the fields and asked him, What are you looking for? He replied, I am looking for my brothers. Can you tell me where they are grazing their flocks? They have moved on from here, the man answered. I heard them say, Let's go to Dothan. Another Star Wars sounding name.
Sounds so
Dothan. Sounds like Bothan. Do you know how many Bothans died to get these plans?
Wow.
Oh, obscure ref. Many Bothans died.
Dude, are like 6 Star Wars fans totally down with that reference.
Ugh, fucking Bothans. They deserved it. Sure. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them near Dothan, but they saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they plotted to kill him.
Wow.
Oh.
The dreamer, dreamer, 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 dreamer has to go.
Always quick escalation.
Jews are hot-tempered in the Old Testament.
I guess so. Here comes that dreamer, they said to each other. Come now, let's kill him and throw him in one of these cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dreams.
That makes sense.
When Reuben heard this, he tried to rescue him from their hands. Let's not take his life, he said. Don't shed any blood. Throw him in the cistern here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him. Reuben said this to rescue him from them and take him back to his father. So Reuben's at least trying to be like, okay, I'll get him set aside for right now so they think they succeeded, but then I'll come and save him later because I don't want him to die because I'm not a shitty person.
Right, and also Jews are kind of against the spilling of blood. That's
and
why.
semen.
And semen.
We'll get
which
to
you
that.
will find out shortly. But, yeah, like, for instance, the flood story, God kills everybody with water, not by making them bleed from their face or something. So you'll see a lot of the don't spill blood, let's kill them this other way sort of things in this wonderful little book of ours.
Verse 23. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the ornate robe he was wearing, and they took him and threw him in the cistern. The cistern was empty. There was no water in it. It's kind of a shitty cistern.
Yeah. It's the least useful.
It's pretty much, that's the murder cistern.
Let's throw him in the murder cistern. Won't people know?
Well, it's kind of the point. It's an unspoken truth.
Yeah.
Verse 25. As they sat down to eat their meal, they looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites come from Gilead. Their camels were loaded with spices, balm, and myrrh, and they were on their way to take them down to Egypt.
Balm? For their chapped lips.
Funny. No, but I think it's funny that they sat down to eat their lunch next to the brother that they just threw in a deep
Isn't he
well.
like screaming like, "Hey guys! This isn't funny." No, dude, we're leaving you down. Good one, you.
Nope, shut the fuck up, Joseph.
Yeah,
Shut it.
We're eating bread. I'm eating yours. I'm eating your bread.
It's unleavened.
Woo, it's like pita, but we won't call it that till later.
Verse 26. Judah said to his brothers, What will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. His brothers agreed.
Right.
In a flash, the brothers changed their plan.
We need cash, let's sell him if we can. Good use a slave, a hairy bunch of Ishmaelites. Young, strong, well-behaved, going cheap, and he reads and writes.
Now they're like, oh, we can sell him and make money. Well, he is our brother. I guess we shouldn't leave him here to die. You greedy bastards. Verse 28. So when the Midianites merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites. I'd like to think that as they're pulling him out for a second, they were like, oh, okay. Like he thought they were joking. Right, like they were like, oh, okay, guys, you got me. No, we're selling you into slavery. Also, is it that easy to sell someone into slavery at this time?
How do you do that?
Like, they're clearly struggling. Can you take anyone off the street and be like, yeah, we're selling this guy?
Is it like paper or plastic? Like, you're like, here, we want to sell this guy. Is that for sex or slavery?
Verse 29. When Reuben returned to the cistern and saw that Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes. He went back to his brothers and said, "The boy isn't there. Where can I turn now?" Then they got Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the robe in blood. They took the ornate robe back to their father and said, "We found this. Examine it to see whether it is your son's robe." He recognized it and said, "It is my son's robe. Some ferocious animal has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces."
Wow. That's a really bad plan that worked.
Yeah. Fucking Bible. Then Jacob tore his clothes, put on sackcloth, and mourned for his son many days. All his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. "No," he said, "I will continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave." So his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites sold Joseph to Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's many officials, the captain of the guard. Wow, this is, I have to say, knowing the musical, as I do,
Yeah.
follows this pretty closely, actually. Almost exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, we should watch it sometime. That'd be a good thing to do, like a commentary over, like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Isn't it like 2 hours long?
Oh, no, it's only like an hour and a half.
If you guys want to watch this for an hour and a half,
No,
fucking
it's a good musical either way. Fuck you guys. We'll skip over some of the parts that I don't like.
good. And that way we can't get caught for copyright infringement.
I don't think that's how that works, but we'll continue. Alright, so while Joseph is the main focus of the story for a large part of this, we have an aside to see what happens to one of his other brothers at this point.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens in chapter 38 to Judah and Tamar.
Woo!
At that time Judah left his brothers and went down to stay with a man of Adullam named Hira. There Judah met the daughter of a Canaanite man named Shua. He married her and made love to her. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son who was named Er. She conceived again and gave birth to a son and named him Onan. She gave birth to still another son and named him Shelah. It was Kazib that she gave birth to him.
Wow.
Huh. Lots of
baby making.
Bow. Judah got a wife for Er, his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death.
Oh, wow.
No explanation, he's just wicked.
He's a bastard.
I guess so.
He's just a dick.
Then Judah said to Onan, "Sleep with your brother's wife and fulfill your duty as her brother-in-law, to raise up offspring for your brother." But Onan knew that the child would not be his, so whenever he slept with her brother's wife, he spilled the semen on the ground to keep from providing the offspring from his brother. What I'm wondering is, what does he mean the son wouldn't be his? I mean, it would be his.
I don't know what that means.
Because I understand the thought. I mean, it would be his, unless I guess they don't understand reproduction necessarily at this point, but they gotta know that's the father, even though he's not married to her. I don't understand quite the concept. If anyone out there knows, please explain it to us. What he did was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death also.
So, lesson to you kids.
Don't pull out, apparently, or else the Lord will kill you.
So that whole pull and pray thing? No.
Push and pray.
Push in. Push in and pray that they get pregnant, or you are fucked.
According to the
Bible. You are going to be smited.
This kind of thing makes me wonder if this is sort of where the Catholic inclination for anti-birth control comes from.
We actually talked about this a little bit before in our pre-reading that we do before the show. And Hugo's convinced thoroughly that just because it feels a little bit better is part of the reason why the Catholics...
There's no way... If it felt exactly the same, I feel like they'd be more, okay. Nope. Somewhere they're sitting in a room plotting. No condoms. No condoms.
Was that an Italian voice?
Don't worry about it.
That's really bad.
Moving on.
Alright.
Verse 11. Judah then said to his daughter-in-law, Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's household until my son Shelah grows up." For he thought, he may die too, just like his brother. So Tamar went to live in his father's household. After a long time, Judah's wife, the daughter of Shua, died. When Judah had recovered from his grief, he went to Timnah to the men who were shearing his sheep, and his friend Hira, the Adullamite, went with him. When Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep," he took off her widow's clothes, covered herself in a veil to disguise herself, and then sat down at the entrance of Eniam, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that, through the Shelah, she had now grown up, and she had not been given to him as his wife.
So basically, without all that bullshit that you just said, with all those names and shit, so no one gets confused, she was a widow. She didn't want to be known as a widow, so she changed her clothes, took off... Apparently they had widow garments that they would wear. She took that off, put a veil over her face so no one could recognize her, and went and walked away.
Yep.
And just kind of left.
Mm-hmm. When Judah saw her, He thought that she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. Not realizing that she was his daughter-in-law, he went over to her, by the roadside, and asked, "Come now, let me sleep with you." "And what will you give me to sleep with you?" she asked. "I'll send you a young goat from my flock," he said. "Will you give me something as a pledge until you send it?" she asked. He said, "What pledge should I give you?" "Your seal and its cord, and the staff in your hand," she answered. So she gave them to her, and slept with her, and became pregnant by him. And she left, she took off her veil, and put on her widow's clothes again.
Okay, so,
She tricked him.
yeah, Judah just slept with his son's wife.
Yep.
What a fuck-up.
Yeah, you should probably take that veil off the hooker sometimes. I always do.
Why? Okay, this is the second time since we started Season 2 that somebody has banged a girl and didn't know who it was. They just had indiscriminate sex with them.
No looking at the face. Property. Vagina.
Boom. Also, he finished.
Yep.
On the inside.
Meanwhile, he didn't want to be struck down. My God.
I wouldn't.
It's better for your seed to fall into the belly of a whore than upon the ground. Meanwhile, Judah sent the young goat by his friend the Adulamite in order to get his pledge back from the woman, but he did not find her. He asked the man who lived there, "Where is the shrine prostitute who was beside the road at
Shrine prostitute.
Prostitute specifically hangs out at shrines.
Wait, did they have shrine prostitutes? Like, okay, go to the shrine, say hello to God and shit. You can have a bang on your way out.
I guarantee it.
That's fucking amazing.
I promise that's a thing.
They should have prostitutes on the outside of fucking churches.
Oh, I'd go to church all the time. That's a lie.
That's
I'm
a lie.
sorry. My girlfriend listens to this sometimes. I'm not going to go to a prostitute.
You should just cut that entirely.
No, I'm not going to. It's funnier if I don't.
You're gonna get in trouble.
No, she doesn't watch that often. Her friend does occasionally.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, Miranda, if you're watching this ever. Anyways, verse 22. So he went back to Judah and said, "I didn't find her. Besides, the men who lived there said, there hasn't been any shrine prostitutes here."
Nope. We have farm prostitutes.
Dairy Queen prostitutes.
Got Dairy Queen prostitutes, no shrine ones. What's the difference? Well, the veil, it's a different color. It's a different color. Also, the vaginas are different.
The Dairy
We
Queen
sort them
one,
by vagina size.
the Dairy Queen one is very cold.
It's very...
She literally shoves ice cream all up inside her vagina.
They had ice cream? No.
They did not have ice cream. That
By
is
the
not
glory of God.
So we went. Oh.
Just...
Verse 23, Then Judah said, "Let her keep what she wants, or we will become a laughingstock. After all, I did send her this young goat, but you didn't find her." Why would that make him a laughingstock?
Why would sending her a goat be legitimate?
This is fucking stupid. Verse 24, After 3 months later, Judah was told, "Your daughter-in-law, Tamar, is guilty of prostitution. As a result, she is now pregnant." Judah said, "Bring her out and have her burned
It's
to
your
death."
fucking fault, asshole.
And wait a minute, he knows himself, even if he doesn't know who she was prostituting to, that it was him. You slept with a prostitute 3 months ago, and now you're saying, "Oh wait, she's a prostitute? Burn her." What?
Not like, huh,
I should think this through. I should think my life choices through. Nope.
maybe don't fuck prostitutes.
Eh.
It's the moral of this story.
Verse 25, As she was being brought out, she sent a message to her father-in-law. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these," she said, and she added, "See if you recognize whose seal and cord and staff are these." Ooh. I have to say, as a story, that's actually really
Good job.
good. That's good. That's good writing.
50 Shades of Grey.
This is fucking stupid. But that actually is good writing. I
It
like
is.
that. That's like something you'd see at least on cable TV.
Yeah.
Who do these belong to? Telemundo. Well, that's 3. I think that's like 3 episodes in a row we've had a reference to Spanish soap operas.
It's just like it, though.
Judah recognized them and said, "She is more righteous than I, since I wouldn't give her to my son Shelah," and he did not sleep with her again. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb, and she was given birth. One of them put out his hand, so the midwife took a scarlet thread and tied it to his wrist and said, "This one came out first." But when he drew back his hand, his brother came out, and she said, "So this is how you have broken out." And she named Perez. This his brother, who has the scarlet thread on his wrist, came out, and he was named Zerah.
What a weird birthing story.
Yeah, they do that. Again, this has to do with the order of birth depends on who gets the birthright. So it does matter to them at this point. Alright, so next week we'll come back and we will talk more about Joseph, because the rest is all about Joseph.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was an
Kind of
interesting
wild.
side note about the semen and the prostitution.
So a little preview, we'll get a little bit of Desperate Housewife action. We'll get a little bit of impalement and some zombie cows. And
honestly, we're almost on Exodus, just so you guys know, which will be Moses, which is always interesting. Before we do our normal sign-outs and everything, I have something to ask of all of you. We're now on Season 2. This, I believe, is Episode 4 of Season 2, or 5 with the extra episode that comes in between the Bible episodes. If any of you have any amount of followers on YouTube or Twitter, we have to ask this of you. Right now, do a tab and tweet about us. Tweet about our episode, do a link. Or on any videos you do if you're a YouTuber.
Call us out.
Yeah.
Say, hey, check these guys out. And that would help us out a bunch. And if you do it, let us know.
And
we'll give you another shout out, and we'll kind of swap followers and stuff. It'll be fun.
Because we do want to grow this, and we enjoy it. We do want to continue doing it, and the followers make us want to do it more, if we're being honest. Yeah. Even if you only have like 10 Twitter followers, go tweet it.
If you only have 10 Twitter followers, you need to be on Twitter more, though. That's like
I have 12. I have 12.
You were on there for a week.
I know.
And all 12 of yours are because I said, hey, follow Hugo.
Yeah, I know. That's not the point. Anyways, so please, I'll wait. I'll fucking wait, and I'll talk. You go on Twitter, or make a note to yourself if you're a YouTuber and you do YouTube videos. To put that in your next video.
Yeah. And then make sure that you notify us, and I promise you, we'll give you a shout out. You'll get at least 300 subscribers right away.
Probably.
I don't see why not.
I don't know.
People who watch, they've watched this show hard.
Yep. All right.
So yeah.
So while you're doing that, let's do another shameless plug. Again, we have a store.
Yeah.
It's got merch in it.
Merch store. You want a keychain? Keep your keys handy with a picture of our logo on it.
We have T-shirts. Obviously, look at how sexy those shirts. Look at how sexy those shirts are. You look
Super
so good in
sexy.
those shirts
Yeah.
and out of them.
Got a beer stein that you could use.
We have a wonderful mug.
Yeah. You could drink coffee out of the mug. You could drink cola out of hot cocoa.
You have a baby that you want to go to hell? Look, we have a pacifier.
We have if you don't buy a pacifier, a TBR pacifier for your baby, two things. You're a bad friend to me and Hugo, and a bad parent to your child.
I'm going to call Child Protective Services on you.
You should probably sanitize it before, though.
Oh yeah, it's a recycled butt plug. Full disclosure.
Now no one's gonna buy our pacifiers.
Good, I don't care.
That's fine. But yeah, check out our merch store. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. And check out all the other stuff. We're on Atheist Vids on Reddit.
Yep.
So we'll shout out to them.
Yep. Okay.
Whoop whoop.
And with that said, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
This has been The Bible Reloaded.
Science bless, bitches.